सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Let us chant mantra number 5. Tatra para. तत्रापरा ऋग्वेदो यजुर्वेदः सामवेदो थर्ववेदः
तत्रापरा ऋग्वेदो यजुर्वेदः सामवेदोऽर्थवेदोऽथर्ववेदः
कल्पो व्याकरणं निरुक्तं छन्दो ज्योतिषमिति
शिक्षा कल्पो व्याकरणं निरुक्तं छन्दो ज्योतिषम् इति
अथ परा यया तदक्षरमधिगम्यते
अथ परा यया तदक्षरमधिगम्यते
Yeah. So in the last class, we saw the Bhaashyam, completed the Bhaashyam, completed studying the Bhaashyam of this mantra. This is a brilliant mantra which delineates Atma Vidya from everything else, through which we are able to understand many things. One Upanishad says, Dvauhi Padarthau. There are only two entities in this universe, two entities. What are the two entities? Atma and Atma. No. Two things are there. Atma and Anatma. That's it. You talk about something, either that's going to be Anatma or Atma. Dvauhi Padarthau. Then the knowledge that is corresponding to Anatma and Atma is going to be what? Well, Anatma is going to be Aparavidya. Atma study is going to be Paravidya. The study of the object is called Aparavidya. Study of subject is called Paravidya, Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya. And in this Mundakopanishad, Yayatad Aksharam Adhigamyate, also called Akshara Vidya. Because Aksharam was used, the word Aksharam was used. So we are able to now delineate. It will take us a little while to fully grasp the significance of this statement. But it's enough for us to, the initial understanding is also important. So now if somebody asks you a question for you to think about, there is science, as in everything that is taught in schools and colleges, as in all the departments that are there in a multi-speciality hospital, different doctors are there with different specialities. Okay, as in research that's going on in so many thousands and thousands of areas. Where does that fit in? If somebody asks you, we should very clearly say, unequivocally say, it falls in the Apara Vidya category. Why? Because it is the study of something other than me. Something other than me it is. Nutrition, something other than me. Nutrition helps me, all right, but it is other than me. Anything. Astrology, astronomy, of course, other than me. But coming closer to the body, what about study of medicine? Well, body itself is objectified. Therefore, all body knowledge is objectified knowledge. Objective comes under aparavidya. Now, what about psychology? My God, psychology is mind science, mind science. Hey, mind science is all right, but mind also, I'm the observer of my mind. I know what's going on in my mind right now at this moment. When I say I know, that means I am the subject. What is known is the object. The mind is the object. All the all the faculties of the mind, all the processes that are going on that psychologists are studying, they were able to connect the past to the present. Past experiences to present experiences, as present traumas and present whatever feelings. Everything, all the connection is all Aparavidya. Even though it's very close to me, very close to me. It's about me, it's about my mind, it's about my past. Therefore, sciences, Aparavidya, you have Atma sitting here. And so if somebody says science is fast approaching Upanishads, you must be able to boldly stand up in front of a million people and be able to say, hey, look, don't say that. If you say that, you don't know what science is, you don't know what Atma is. So be careful. Science means what? You study a something, an object you study. The object is called subject. Subject of study. There also is some confusion. The object, in our case, object means other than me. I am the subject, that is the object. But that object is the subject of my study. All right, that's different. So the things that I study in sciences requires measurement, observation, and taking notes, and then finding cause and effect relationships between whatever I think is the cause and whatever I think is the effect. And validation. So the data should prove my theory, and then the theory becomes final. It is put to the test and peer review. It goes through, and globally, the world over, there is a peer review, and then that particular idea becomes mainstream, and it comes in books. That is how books are written. Books are written. So now, with that being given, you can say, hey, for Atma, what kind of measurement can you take? You don't even know that there is Atma. You're ignoring the perceiver. Some scientists recognize that. No, the perceiver doesn't even come into the picture. In all of sciences, perceiver doesn't come into the picture at all. And therefore, when perceiver does not come into the picture, where is the question of perceiver vidya? It's not possible. Like that, we should be able to build our argument. All right. So, here in the Shastram, they don't talk about secular sciences. They know that secular science is aparavidya. So when they talk about aparavidya, Shastram talks about shiksha, kalpam, vyakaranam, all these things. All sciences, they're all Vedic sciences. They're all meant to understand the Veda. And so it has to be aparavidya. If shiksha, vyakaranam, kalpam is aparavidya, everything else, geriatry is aparavidya, nutrition is aparavidya, geology is aparavidya, everything is aparavidya. That is understood. Here the Shastram is pushing us a bit too far. It says Vedic science is also aparavidya. Entire Veda is aparavidya. That is a bit of a shock. Because hey, the Veda is the one that is the mirror of words that is supposed to show me who I am, and therefore it becomes paravidya. I thought, and now the same Veda Upanishad is from the Veda only. Veda says, "I am not paravidya." Correct. Rigvedo, Yajurvedo, Samavedo, Tharva Vedaha means what? Four Vedas. Beyond this, there is no Veda. Okay, four Vedas are already listed, and so it is now stretching our understanding. It is puzzling. And so Shankara is going to explain it. We saw the explanation. And Shankara's explanation is what? Finally, Shabda Rashihi, my dear friend. The words of the Veda. If somebody memorizes the whole Veda like they do in the Veda Patishala, that memorization of words is not Paravidya. It is Aparavidya. That means if somebody asks you, is Sanskrit Paravidya or Aparavidya, you must immediately say, not only every language is Aparavidya, and Sanskrit, Deva Bhasha, however great the language is, and I'm pouring the midnight oil to study Sanskrit, it is Aparavidya only. Like that, we should be able to say. Yeah. So these are so many ideas that are coming. And so Shankara says, hey, it is Shabda Rashi. You take all the words of Veda, put it in the Aparavidya category. If you don't know then what is left? There's nothing left there. This is a big empty here. Paravidya is empty. No. Yayatad aksharam adhigamyate. And so what? That knowledge by which aksharam is understood. Aksharam is understood. That akshara vastu. That Brahma is understood. That Brahma, which is myself, Atma, is understood, is Paravidya. Like that, quietly, Upanishad leaves it like that for us to figure out what is this Yaya and all that. Okay, that is where we are. And so Shankara is saying, when the Vedas says all Vedas are Aparavidya, it means all the words, literally every word is part of this Aparavidya. Only when I understand it. Understanding makes the difference between paravidya and aparavidya. A non-understood word comes in the bucket of aparavidya. When the word is understood, then the word itself disappears. Word disappears. When I say Rasagulla, then immediately you understood what it is. Then Rasagulla is there in your mind. Word is gone. Word has no relevance here because you are now thinking about what the word means. That meaning is what gives me moksha, not some words parroting some words. So it's a brilliant unfoldment here. So, and so he said Shabda Rashi. So he made a distinction. He wants us to think about, hey, there is word, and then there is meaning of the word. Shabda Jnanam is there, Shabda Artha Jnanam is there. Shabda Artha Jnanena eva mokshaha, Shabda Jnanena na mokshaha, Dharmartha Kama you can get. Punyam you can get by chanting Veda, I will get Punyam. Dharma I will get. By understanding the meaning of the words, that's a separate topic. And so then Shankara says, okay, so this Veda has what? Because now Vedas come in this Aparavidya category. So Veda now has what? Karma Kanda, big chunk is Karma Kanda, which talks about Dharma, Artha and Kama only. Which even without Veda I am pursuing. I know how to get security, how to get entertainment, I know. How to be righteous, I know, even without studying the Veda. So Dharmartha Kama I am pursuing anyway. That is why they are called Purusharthas. And this Veda, big chunk of the Veda also has come here. And that chunk also is Aparavidya. Karma Kanda is Aparavidya. But then this Jnana Kanda is there. It is called Upanishad. small portion of the Veda, which I have pulled over to the category of Aparavidya. The small portion is there. Understanding the meaning of those words of the Upanishad, you have to put under Paravidya. This much we saw last time. Then the Purva Bakshi is now coming and saying, why, do you think I'm going to accept what you're going to say? Obviously not. You're partial. You're saying the small portion you put here, and I'm going to call it Paravidya. Why don't you, same argument I'm going to give you, and I'm going to say that big portion which is Karma Vidya, which is Karma Kanda, that should be called Paravidya. You put the other one Upanishad here in Aparavidya category. What is the justification for you to say you put that small portion here? That is the Purva Pakshi stand right now. Yeah, that is what he's. That will be the next introduction to the next mantra. Shankaracharya will will tell this what I just told you. This Purva Paksha is going to come. Okay, let's read this Bhaashyam. Bhaashyam is called Sambandha Bhaashyam because the mantra that is going to come, Yattad Adreshyam, the commentary now written is an introduction to the next mantra, and therefore that introduction has a name called Sambandha Bhaashyam. All right. यथा विधि विषये
यथा
यथा विधि विषये
यथा विधि विषये
कर्त्रादि
कर्त्रादि
अनेक कारक
अनेक कारक
उपसंहार द्वारेण
उपरसंहारद्वारेण
वाक्यार्थ ज्ञान कालात्
वय- वय- pardon?
वाक्यार्थ
वाक्यार्थ
ज्ञान कालात्
व्या- व्या- व्याद
ज्ञान कालात्
ज्ञानकारात्
अन्यत्र
अन्यत्र
अनुष्ठेयः अर्थः अस्ति
अनुष्यः अर्थः
अस्ति
अस्ति
अग्निहोत्रादिलक्षणः
अग्निहोत्रादिलक्षणः
न तथा इह
न तथा इव
परविद्या विषये.
परविद्याविषये.
Yeah. So he's going to once again compare Paravidya and Aparavidya. And he's saying, okay, he's saying now, look at this. Yatha vidhi vishaye. Yatha means let's look at this vidhi vishaya. Now he's suddenly introducing a new word called vidhi. Vidhi vishaya. Hey, vidhi means mandate, injunction, to do. What is to be done is called vidhi. Opposite of to do is not to do. Not to do is called nishedha. Vidhi nishedha. If you carefully look at our entire life, it from morning to night, it is all following to do's and not to do's, do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts. Don't get up too late in the morning. Get up by 5:36. By the time sun rises, you get up. Do's and don't. Don't get up too late means what? Okay, here are the reasons why it's not advisable to get up too late. All right. Then you have to wash your mouth and face. Don't do things without cleaning up your face. There are reasons for that. Do's and don'ts. Next, Next, whatever you do, you do. Get ready for preparing breakfast. Because stomach, we have to take care of stomach. And in India, other things will be there. The milkman is coming. You take the milk out and put it there. Why? Hey, if you don't do it, the milk will be staying outside. It will get spoiled. So do's, don'ts. Okay. Like this, so many things are there from morning to evening. Whatever we do, whoever we are, the greatest scientist, the greatest Vaidika Pandita, it doesn't matter. Everybody is following one script. A script is what? Do this, don't do that. That is a script of our life. That is what he's saying. Vidhi Vishaya. Vidhi Vishaya means what? In the context of this do's and don'ts, which is what the Veda also is. The Karma Kanda of the Veda, which talks about dharma, artha, and kama, which talks about how I can get more wealth. I can do chandi homam and other things, and I can get more wealth and strength. That is artha, and that is vidhi also. Vidhi nisheda. Do this, don't do this. The ritual also. This is a way to then. If you look at the ritual, it's all a list of what you should do and how you should do and what you should chant while doing it. Okay. The Veda, see, Shankara, when he argues, he is not going to give this Laukika examples. He's not going to give. Brush your teeth every day, this, that. He won't say all that. It's all understood for us. He is only, when he talks about karma, he means Vaidika karma. That's it, Vaidika karma. What about other karma? Yeah, it all includes. Secular karma is included in the religious karma. In our Vedic culture, there is no such thing called secular karma anyway. Catching the bus, it is a secular act. For us, it is not a secular act. You can even chant Marga Bandhu Stotra before catching the bus. Marga Bandhu, May you accompany me during my journey. He is the only friend I have during my journey. So, where is the question of secularism and all that? It's a new idea. The modern idea, Western idea. Anyway, therefore, he doesn't talk about all these. They don't give any example. These days, we give all kinds of examples. But it's all Vedic example only he will give. So when he says Vidhi Vishaye, he is talking about Karma Kanda Vishaye. Karma Kanda, which gives me more artha, more kama, and more punyam dharma in that context. Also called Veda Purva Vishaye. Look at that. Another word I introduced. Veda Purva Vishaye. Means what? The beginning part of the Veda. The initial part of the Veda. Which is Karma Kanda. Because Veda starts like that. And somewhere in between there will be Upanishad. There is no particular order or anything like that. Generally, we say Vedanta Upanishad comes towards the end of the Veda. But it need not be like that. There are some exceptions. So, still, that Vidhi Vishaya means Karma Kanda Vishaye or Veda Purva Vishaye. In the context of that part of the Veda which makes me do things and get things as a result of what I do. He's going to explain what that is. Okay. What is he saying? कर्त्रादि अनेक कारक उपसंहार द्वारेण वाक्यार्थ ज्ञान कालात् अन्यत्र अनुष्ठेयः अर्थः अस्ति. All right, he's saying, let's compare. We talked about Shabd. You are questioning me when I said that you are partial to this Upanishad and you say Upanishad Shabda Artha Jnanam will give me moksha. Paravidya, that is called Paravidya, you said. Eh? And you said I'm partial to that Upanishad, and why not take this Karma Kanda Shabda Jnanam is important. Why say Jnana Kanda Shabda Jnanam is important to you? I'll tell you why. It is because Karma Kanda, okay, talk about the understanding, the meaning of the mantras of Karma Kanda. There are also words there meant for us to understand, no doubt. And so I can understand the mantras of Karma Kanda. And they do understand. Our Veda Pandits know the Karma Kanda very well. Very well. A beginner may not know. But as they start doing all the karmas, they know all the mantras and they know the meaning of the mantras. Okay, he's saying, Vakyartha jnana kalat anyatra. Hey, when I know the meaning of the mantra, that is not enough to get the result, the phalam of this mantra. What is needed? Hey, what is needed is I must do the karma that the mantra is talking about. I must do what it says. Until I do, this knowledge of the karma is absolutely useless. Knowledge of karma cannot give me karma phalam. Actually, performing the act, performing the ritual is what will give me karma phalam. Correct? That is how it is. Anything. When secular acts are like that, knowledge of knowing how to make idli is of no use. Is of no use even for the idli expert. The idli expert also has to make the idli. Only then that idli is useful. Otherwise, that knowledge is useless. That is what he's saying. He's saying, Vakyartha jnana kalat anyatra. Anyatra means after the time, kala, after the time. After means some time, after the time when knowledge, jnanam of the meaning, artha of the vakya, the words of the Vedas, of karmakanda, right? Vidhi vishaye. After, once I understand the meaning of the Veda mantras, after that, anyatra, nitra means anantaram, afterwards, something is expected of me. Something is expected of me. What is that? Anushtheyaha asti. There is something called, I have to follow what the mantra is saying. I have to do something. I know how to get a bachelor's degree. I have to do it, so many years I have to study and I have to take so many courses because I am interested in geology and everything is clear. The entire thing is there from A to Z. Everything is there on the piece of paper. But that won't get me a degree. That's what he's saying. Anushtheyaha must be performed. Must be performed. This is a very obvious thing, but that's a very important thing for us. These things we take for granted. To understand Atma, you have to understand Anatma thoroughly. Correct? To understand Jnanam, you have to understand Karma thoroughly. What did Bhagavan Shankara Krishna say?
Karmananarambhat naishkarmyam.
No. Karma must be understood thoroughly. Karma must be understood thoroughly. When did this one? Karmanaiva hi bodhavyam. Bodhavyam cha vikarmanah. Akarmanascha bodhavyam. Kahana karmano gatihi. Yeah. He said, hey, you have to understand karma properly. Only then you will appreciate Paravidya. Solid appreciation. Correct? You understand you're buying a house and you've come to a new place. You have to understand all the places, which are all not good places to have a house. There also you have to know so that you appreciate your particular, you can zero in. Yeah. Same thing here also. Anushtheyaha arthaha asti. And so that karma, which is indicated by the words of the Veda of the Karma Kanda, has to be performed. Anushtheyaha arthaha asti. Okay. And how do I do that? Kartradi aneka karaka upasamhara dvarena. Shankara doesn't have to say it, but he's saying it. Karma has to be done. Whatever you need to do, you have to do. In Laukika Karma, you know what you have to do. You have to make breakfast means you have to put together make sure you have the dough. Those days, if you don't have the dough, you have to just soak the rice in water, rice and urad dal in water, and then it should ferment to some point. Then you grind it, and then you take the dough, and then you put it and make your idli or dosa. All that preparation is preparatory work. How much preparatory work is there to make one dosa? These days, people go and buy a packet of, this idli batter. I don't know whether today's kids know what all happened. See how much we lose in the process. How much we lose in the process. Even we don't know what all they used to do. And my sir of my coach was telling me, in the village, they people used to come and go all the time. There is no phone. This thing, I'm coming. People will just come, land up. And so in the kitchen, this firewood stove, the stove where firewood is there, those stoves are there. 2, 3 stoves will be there. One is big size, one is slightly smaller. For tea, coffee, it is smaller. For okay, and for rice and other things. This rice thing, there is a pot of rice that is always cooking. Smoke is always coming. I've seen it. And my aunt will not turn it off. It's constantly cooking. And when the fire goes off, it is still, that heat is still there, and the firewood is still hot, and the rice remains warm, or at least hot. These things he was telling me just last 2 months ago. We don't know all these things. These things they used to do. And constantly somebody is in the kitchen. Okay, anyway, what is that? Look at that. Aneka karaka upasamhara. Upasamhara means collection. Upasamhara is another meaning. Summary is also called. Conclusion is also called upasamhara. We saw that when we did the 18th chapter. We said it is upasamhara adhyayaha. It is the summary chapter, like that we said. Here, that is not the meaning. Upasamhara means to collect. To collect, you got to collect all the things that you need to execute your karma. And even during things, you need more and more stuff will come. That is a Laukika, worldly example, Idli example. But Shankara is not thinking of Idli and dosa. He is thinking about the karma that we do. All the homas and yajnas that are being done, constantly you need stuff nearby, you need all, they keep all, you look at the preparations. Well, the preparation, even now, every month, we call it Masigam. So since my mother passed away, I'm doing every month, and twice a day, twice a month, and some other times also. And so one day it takes only 2 hours, 2.5 hours to 3 hours. Other day, homa, the home fire has to be launched. And all preparations are all there. Even right here, and on my table on this side, there is a big bag of that varati, that fuel made of cow dung that is there, and all the sticks, summit, everything is there. Big bag is there because it's going on for 12 months. I have to keep doing it. So preparation is so important. Upasamhara, you have to make sure you collect all the materials required. What are you collecting? Aneka karaka. All technical words, beautiful words. That is why this is called Deva Bhasha, Sanskrit. I'll tell you why. You'll see it. I mean, we have already been seeing it. Karaka. This karaka is a technical word, which means all the things, the names, the grammatical name given to all the things needed to execute a karma. Okay, like what is needed to execute a karma? Kartradi. Hey, there must be a guy who wants to do karma. That is called karta. Karta is needed. The person who wants to do karma is needed. Otherwise, no karma is done. And so here the karta in a Vedic karma, the karta is called yajamana. Yajamana. So there has to be a male, there has to be a female. This is pati and patni. Patni and pati must be there together. Otherwise, karma can't be done. Not possible. Certain things bachelors can do, like Sandhya Vandanadi. That's about it. But karma is done by a grihastha. That's it. And so that means what? This guy has to be married. To find a karta, you need a married guy. You need a grihastha. Second, two people are there, and that guy must be doing his daily anushtanam. Sandhya Vandanadi must be there, done. That guy must have all this thread and so forth. Everything must be there. The thread should not be hanging in the restroom. What is the use of this thread? It's a problem. When I go to the gym, it comes, and it's a big headache it is. They just put it in the almari, puja almari. Puja almari is a sacred place, I understand, but that is not the place for this thread. It is a place only for threads which will be used next year again. Okay, for new thread, you have to throw off this thread and then you have to use that. There, that can be there in Puja almari, not this thread, my dear friends. This has to be right here only. This is the only place where it can be. So to get that guy, you see how difficult it is. And he should, after marriage, he has to be, he has to uh, have, you see, he has to, he has to become what is called an Ahita Agni. That is a name. I was looking for the name. After the marriage, that Agni is there, that Agni Adhanam has to happen. He must perform that ritual called Agni Adhana karma. And then only he is qualified to do all the karma. So he must have become an Agni. Ahita Agni is called. That qualification must be there. Where are we going to get all that these days? These days, Yajamana is not available. Not available. Even Veda Patashala teachers these days, once there was an argument and that person understood, my God, I'm not doing Agni Hotram. And so he started doing Agni Hotram. Means that's how that tradition has been getting diluted and diluted. Anyway, that is the Aneka Karaka. So Yajamana is needed, all the samagris are needed, all the spatulas and everything. It's called Darvi. All that is needed. And ghee, Ghritam is needed. Ajyam it's called, not Ghritam. Ghritam in Laukika. In Vedic usage, the ghee gains a different name. That same ghee gets a different name. It's called Ajyam. Charvaka says Ghritam. Rinam Kritva Ghritam Pibet, he says. You drink ghee, just borrow money and just enjoy life, he says. That is called Ghritam. That same ghee on the Vedic platform, it is called Ajyam. And there is a particular way of making Ajyam and all that. Anyway, these are all Karakas. Karaka means what? Things are Vibhakti, subject, karta is required, karma, all things are required, karanam is required. All the instruments that are required to do the karma. The spatula is useless. You're not going to burn the spatula, but the spatula is needed to, darbi is needed to take the ghee and then pour it in the agni. So all the things required are all called karanam. That is a karaka. Then offering it to somebody, that devata is there. So the sampradhanam, so that is also a karaka. To somebody, who are you giving this agni to? To devata, Indra devata, Varuna devata. Varuna is invoked in the water pot, all the way right in the front of in the beginning of the karma. All these are called karakas. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina, we saw in the Bhagavad Gita. So there also the word karaka. They're all karakas. Brahmarpanam, what you give is called arpanam. Brahmahavihi, Havihi is Ajyam. Brahmagno, Agni. So location, that is also a karaka, Saptami Vibhakti. Where do you offer it to, into? That is called Agno. All that we saw there. So that's what is mentioned here. Aneka Karaka means all the things required for you to lead a life. Lead a life. That is why when there is a storm and then when there is the supply chain is disrupted, milk supply is reduced, this is not there, that is not there, suddenly we just become nervous. And everybody goes to the store and starts stocking stuff. Those days, no stocking and all. People just lived, but stocking. And so and then you go to the store, they sell empty. All the shelves are empty. And you have to live without these things, which becomes difficult. So, Aneka Kara Upasamhara Dwarena, by collecting all the accessories, varieties of accessories needed. Like Kartradi. Kartradi means what? Like the Yajamana, etc. Like the Karta. Let's start from the guy who wants to do the karma itself. He is also needed for karma. She is also needed. Okay, she has to start off. He has to start off. And periodically she has to come. And without that, it won't happen. Okay. So, what is the point here? After knowing the meaning of the mantras, there is still a lot pending. What is pending? The actual karma is pending. We have to do the karma. And then, this is saying here, Anushtheya asti Agnihotradi Lakshana is giving some examples of karma. Agnihotra, etc. Agnihotra is a typical and the most fundamental Vedic ritual of a grahastha, of a married person, Vaidika person. That is Agnihotra, the Lakshana, characterized by Agnihotra, etc. 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 means Nitya Naimiktika karma. There are many karmas they do. Sandhyavandanam is a karma. Okay. And the Naimiktika is there. So, Shraddha karma is there. Darsha Purnamasa is there. Like this, many karmas are there. Eclipses are coming. And when eclipse comes, karma has to be done. His whole lifestyle was, Vedic lifestyle was. So, Agnihotra, the Lakshanaha. And, shortly it's coming in Mundakopanishad itself. In Mundakopanishad itself, he is going to list all the karmas, many karmas. Agnihotram, Darsha Purnamasa. Darsha Purnam means Amavasya and Purnami, that karmas on those days. And then Chaturmasyam, Agrayanam, all these things are there. That is the meaning of Agnihotradi Lakshanaha. That is, he is already defined what is the nature of this karma kanda, vidhi vishaye. Correct? What is the nature? Knowledge of the words is not enough. It is still hanging. The knowledge of the words is in fact useless unless you do the karma. This knowledge is useless. Not only karma must be done, guess what? The phalam is not obtained as soon as you do the karma. In the case of Vedic karma. In the case of idli making, okay, fine. As soon as you finish the karma, idli is right there. But in the case of Vaidika karma, guess what? Guess what? You do a Vastu Homa, Navagraha Homa when you enter a house and you call it Graha Pravesham. And what about the result of that karma? It is some punyam. And guess what? The punyam will come a little later, not at that instant you completed. It can take some time for the punyam to come. Okay. Or if I did not have any shraddha in the karma I did, then punyam is going to be reduced. That is also a karaka. One of the things needed for the fructification of the karma is that I have shraddha in what I do. Shraddha is very important. Okay, and dakshina, all dakshinas given to everybody. That's also important. Adakshinam, alpa dakshinam, nishpalam. If dakshina is not given for any Vaidika karma, not given or not given enough, then that is also going to impact the results. So that result will come not immediately after you do the karma. It will take some time. It takes some time. And then some punyam and swarga. Swarga, if swarga prapti is my phalam, guess what? The phalam is not going to come in this life at all. Why? Because swargam is there only after this life, not in this life. Therefore, certain karmas which are involved with paraloka, prapti, it will never come. I have to die in order to get the phalam. Therefore, there are too many. These are some of the characteristics of karma. And even otherwise also, even secular also you can see. You send your application to the college. All these college going people, that is a big stressful period for everybody. And they apply. Until then, lot of work is there. The moment you go to the post office and then mail that package, those days at least. These days it's all online. Maybe I should give an online example. But let's continue with this example. And the moment you go to the courier or post office and then give it, Give that package. Those days, that's how we used to do. And then give the package and you pay the money and then they take it off, they put a stamp on it, and then you come out. Then what? That's it, over. All the anxiety is also gone. Means now that's the Sharanagati Bhava is now come. My God, I've done it. I've done my best. Now there is nothing I can do. I can't even go. Tomorrow, one day is too late. I can't even go to the post office and say, wait, I forgot to put my this thing, some so key important qualification I forgot to put in my resume. Too late. So then after that time, I wait until you hear from them. So it all karma is like this. Takes time. Takes some time. And so these are all some of the things unique about karma. It is neither wrong nor right, but understand that after karma, the knowledge of karma is not sufficient. It must be followed through by the performance of the karma. Anushtayaha asti. And next, he's going to say, uh, we'll read the next one. No, I think we did. Agnihotrati lakshanaha na tata iha. We read it. Correct? We read that. Paravidya Vishi. We read it. Yeah. So he's saying, na tatha iha. Iha. In the context that the Upanishad is meant for, Paravidya Vishaye. In Vidhi Vishaye, what I said now applies to Vidhi Vishaya, Karma Kanda Vishaya, Karma Vishaya, Veda Purva Vishaya, but Vedanta Vishaye. Iha means Vedanta Vishaye. Jnana Kanda Vishaye. Vedanta is opposite of Veda Purva, correct? So, Vedanta Vishaye, Paravidya Vishaye. Iha means in this context that we are now pursuing this study. Okay, he says here, Paravidya Vishaye. Vakyartha Jnana Samakale Eva Kale. It's not a spelling mistake, Sandhi. Samakale Eva Paryavasitaha Bhavati.
We have not chanted that.
Oh, we have not chanted it. Correct. Paravidya Vishaye. So he says, Na tata iha Paravidya Vishaye. That is not the case when it comes to Paravidya. What is not the case? It is not the case means we have to go back and say, what is not the case? We can't scratch our head here. It is not the case means this thing where the result is not obtained just by knowing the meaning of the mantras. There is a lot more to be done after that. It's a very elaborate process. Sometimes that elaborate process has to be there subsequent to knowing the meaning of the mantras. That doesn't apply to Paravidya Vishaye. That is what he's saying. Let's read the next sentence. Vakyartha. Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself, Aniruddhaji.
Yeah, Vakyartha.
Jnana Samakale Eva.
Jnana Samakale Eva.
Tu Paryavasitaha Bhavati.
Paryavasitaha Bhavati.
Kevala
Kevala
Shabda Prakashita
Shabda Prakashita
Artha Jnana Matra
Artha Jnana Matra
Nishtha Vyatirikta
Nishtha Vyatirikta
Abhavat.
Abhavat.
Yeah. So he's now contrasting. Remember, what is the Purva Pakshi? What did he say? Purva Pakshi said, you are partial. You are quietly picking this Upanishad portion of the Veda and saying the knowledge of the words of the Upanishad must be called Paravidya. That is how he is saying. Why don't you just take Karma Kanda, Shabda Artha Vidya is Paravidya? Why don't you take it like that? That was the question. Because Shankara said, hey, all the word Shabda Rashi of the entire Veda, including Upanishad Shabda Rashi, is all Aparavidya. Plus this karma kanda artha jnanam also is aparavidya. Just this way the Upanishad, the way of Shabda Artha Jnanam alone, you put it as Paravidya. That is what Shankara is saying, that this mantra is to be interpreted. And he says, no, you are being partial. So it is the duty of the Upanishad to now tell more clearly about what is this Paravidya and Aparavidya. So he now says what? Na tata iha Paravidya Vishaye. No, it's not like that. With Paravidya, it is not like that. With Aparavidya, Shabdartha Jnanam is not enough. You have to follow through with Shabda Artha Janya Karma. The karma which is guided, indicated by the Shabdartha Jnanam, you have to do, my dear friend. Karta is required. But in the case of Paravidya, it is not like that. Okay? What is he saying? Vakyartha Jnana Samakale eva Paryavasitaha bhavati. Paryavasitaha means complete, done, terminated, consummated. Whatever is required for you is already obtained. Paryavasitaha bhavati. Avasanam means full stop. There is nothing beyond knowing. Vakyartha jnana samakale evaha. Yeah. Kale. Kala means time. At what time? Same time. Same time. Same time means what? The same time as the jnanam of vakyartha, the knowledge of the artha, meaning of the vakya, of the words of the jnana kanda, namely Upanishad. Upanishad shabdartha jnana samakale eva. When I study the Upanishad, I'm going to understand what the Upanishad says. And at that same time, at that moment, I understand Paryavasitaha bhavati. My pursuit is complete. My pursuit is done. It need not be followed up by anything. There's no karma left to be done. That is the difference between Paravidya and Aparavidya. Okay. Why do you say like this? Kevala, Shabda, Prakashita, Artha Jnana Matra, Nishtha, Vyatirikta, Abhavat. Abhavat. Because there is an absence of. Okay, we'll come back to that. There is two negatives and all that. We'll come to that. A. This is called Praptasya Prapti. The entire Karma Kanda and Dharmartha Kama is Apraptasya Prapti. It is the accomplishment of what is not yet accomplished. Whenever that is what my life is, that is all I know how to accomplish things. Security, if I want to get, I have to work hard. And I don't have security now. I need to improve my security. Means the sense of insecurity I have changed by buying certain things. Therefore, I have to work hard. This is all my life is all about. So everything is I get stuff. I don't have it now. I have to get it later. That is called apraptasya praptihi. Accomplishment of the not yet gained, gaining the not yet possessed. What about Paravidya? Paravidya is not like that. Because Atma is Purnam, Sampurnam. It is Sarvagatam. Okay, later on mantra is coming, Sarvagatam. All pervasive, infinite. The infinite cannot be gained by doing karma because karma is finite, parichinnam. Either you are infinite or you are not going to be infinite. That's it. There are only two possibilities. If I am finite, then I can keep making some incremental. I can adjust like weight reduction. Okay, you can incrementally reduce your weight, or you can incrementally increase your weight. That's all you can do. Incremental increase in artha, kama, and dharma. But you're not that. You're not the jiva that you think you are. You are atma, and so atma is whole, purnaha. And if that is the idea, then this purnatvam must be already accomplished. And what separates me from the Purnatvam is ignorance. We saw all this before. And now is the time to bring it out again. Hey, it's ignorance that separates me from what I'm seeking. And if ignorance is what is separating me, then knowledge is the only thing that can remove that ignorance. And that is why jnanam becomes very important. Therefore, he's saying that because there is kevala shabda prakashita artha jnana matram asti. Matram, keval, there is only jnanam, knowledge. Only knowledge is there. Okay, what kind of knowledge? Shabda prakashita artha jnanam. Hey, the knowledge of the meaning, artha. Artha is meaning. Knowledge of the meaning of the shabdas. What? The knowledge of the meaning that is illuminated, prakashita by the words. Every word is powerful. Every word is powerful. That's why we have to be careful when we use words. Only then the words will help us. If I arbitrarily use words all the time, everywhere, it's fantastic, it's beautiful, it's good, it's gorgeous. I keep on saying gorgeous, gorgeous for everything. Then the meaning of the word gorgeous is gone. It's fantastic. Fantastic means what? Hey, everything is fantastic means the word fantastic is useless now. You made it useless. So adjectives, when I use, I must use it properly. I don't say too much. I don't exaggerate. At the same time, I don't say anything. I don't undervalue something. So that's why that one of the rules of speaking is say what is to be said. You can exaggerate occasionally, and where people will understand that you are exaggerating, that is also fine. But as a habit, you shouldn't exaggerate. Because the words will lose meaning. Words are powerful. Words are the only way for us to communicate. And so those words, that's why he's saying Shabda Prakashita. Words are supposed to illumine my mind. That's why Kalidasa says, what does he say? He says, Vagartha viva samprukta Vagartha pratipattaye Jagata Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarao. My God, what a shloka it is. He says, he's telling us what is Shiva and who is Parvati. He's telling. He's saying the word is Shiva, the meaning of the word is Parvati. Why? What is this? What is this strange thing you are telling me? It is not strange. It is because the word and the meaning can never be separated from each other. Can you separate word and its meaning? No. Shiva and Parvati are like that. They can't be separated. That's it. That's his logic. So, for us, words are very important. For anybody, words should be important. And so, Kevala Shabda Prakashita Artha Jnana Matra. The only thing that is relevant is the meaning of the mantra, meaning of the words of the Upanishad. Vyatirikta Abhavat, because of absence of something other than that. There are two negatives. Absence of something other than the meaning of the words. Don't get confused, okay? Only thing jnanam is there. That's all the sentence is saying. Absence of something other than that means what? It means jnana matra only, eva. There's only knowledge when it comes to this Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya. Jnanam is the only thing. After jnanam, what? Kartritram itself is negated. And so karta itself is mithya. This jnanam is going to make karta mithya. And so where is the question of doing? Karma is also mithya. And so doing is not needed. That Dashamaha, did I tell the example of Dashamaha in this class? In the other class, I said, huh? In yesterday's class, I think I said, I have to keep remembering what I said where.
This class
Dashamaha.
you have not told Guruji.
Yeah,
I think you said here choose glasses.
Kuchu's glasses is there. Okay. Kuchu's glasses. Let's use that as the example. But everybody, all the Upanishad students should know the Dashamaha example, right? We can't leave everybody, some people behind us. It's not correct. That's not fair. So I'm going to, some new students are there, so I must tell what is Dashamaha. That's 10th man story, some of you may know already, even without me telling. But still, for everybody's benefit, we have to say it because we will have to use the example as we go also. So Dashamaha, this Guruji was there in an ashram those days in the banks of a river. And there are times when the Veda Patha will stop. There are certain days there can't be any Patha. And so at that time, it's a vacation for, we say weekends, Saturday, Sunday. For them, those days are there, particular days, Tithi, Prathama, etc. Tithi is there. And so uh, they went on a vacation. Means what? Going to another ashram. What vacation? They were not going to Disneyland and all that, those days. And so, vacation. So the river is there, be careful. Guruji had advised, and 10 of them left. And they crossed the river, went, and on the way back, this leader, the one guy who was in charge of taking care of everybody, he counted, and there were only 9. Only 9 are there. And this guy is shocked. He said, that can't be true. And 9. 9 only are there. And Guruji also said, be careful. It's rainy season and the river is running in full level. You have to be very careful. And now he's become anxious. He's become nervous. He's become a nervous wreck. Within 10 minutes, he became a nervous wreck. Somebody is walking by and said, what happened to you guys? What's wrong with you? This guy said, there are only 9 of us, 10 of us came. 1 of us drowned. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. I have to now go and face Guruji. And what happened to that boy who passed away? Then this wise person understood the problem. He said, don't worry, relax. I'll give you some tea, coffee. I'll give you some milk, whatever they drink those days, and I will get you the 10th person. And he said, what? You want to get me the 10th person? Yes, I will. I will recover that person for you. Then immediately they all quieted down. And then after some time, when the time was right, he called everybody up and he told the leader, hey, ask everybody to stand in a line. Come on, guys, stand in a line. 1, 2, 3. Start counting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I told you before itself there are 9. Okay, count from this side to that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is this a game or what? Bhavan Dashamaha. Bhavan Dashamaha, you are the 10th. You are the 10th. He said, yes, I am the 10th. Correct. 10th. So the 10th did not really drown. No, did not drown. You are the 10th. So this is called Dashamaha, the story of the 10th person. And now tell me, this is the Jnanam. Jnanam of what? Jnanam of the already accomplished Praptaha, Praptasya Praptihi. The 10th person was already there. But if I don't know the 10th person was already there, then my pursuit can only be stopped by Jnanam. My pursuit means what? My anxiety and my search for the 10th person can only be stopped by knowing that I am the 10th person. After knowing the 10th person, what should this boy do? Hey, there's nothing to do. It's over. Game is over. He can celebrate if he wants. He can be happy. He will be happy, in fact. Okay? There's nothing to do. So like that, Praptasya Praptihi. That's the pursuit we are talking about. Everything else here, Dharmartha Kama, it's all prayers and it's all Praptasya Praptihi. This is called Shreyas. Praptasya Praptihi. And therefore, Jnana Matra Nishtha Vyatirikta Abhavat. There is nothing other than knowing. Dashamaha has to know that I am Dashamaha. That's it. You ask the guy who went through this experience, he will tell you, yes, Shabda Prakashitartha Jnana Matra Nishtha Vyatirikta Bhavat. He will say, yes, that's correct. Because after knowing that I am the 10th person, there is nothing else to do. Maximum I can give Guru Dakshina to the person. All those are optional, nothing to do with the actual problem solving. All right, I hope you understood that. That is Shankara. I mean, why Shankara is saying it is because there is nothing to do other than knowing. Vyatirikta abhavat. Other than. Vyatirikta means what? Other than. This jnana matra nishtha. Nishtha means, yeah, you must know it clearly. That is the nishtha. not vague understanding. This boy was very clear. And I say, Bhavan Dashamaha, he was crystal clear about it. He didn't have to go and ask him, what is the meaning of this? What is the grammar? What is Vyakaranam, Anvaya? All these things he didn't have to ask all that. He understood immediately. So that is what is being said here. Let's read the next sentence. No, we read it, I think, did we? No, we have to read this one.
No,
Tasmat Tasmat
Tasmat
Iha
Dha
Param Vidyam
Param Vidyam
Savisheshanena
Sa Visheshanena
Aksharena
Aksharena
Vishinashti
Vishinashti
Yattadadreshyam
Yattadadresham
Ityadina
Ityadina
Vakshamanam
Vakshamanam
Buddhau Samhritya
Tau Samhritya
Siddhavat
Dhavat
Parabrishyate.
Paramrishyate
Okay.
Yattad
Yat tat iti.
Yat Yat Tat Iti.
Yeah, so that is coming in the next page for you. We'll cover it. So, tasmat. Tasmat. Therefore. Therefore means what? Nigamanam. In Sanskrit, it's called Nigamanam. Means this argument is being concluded. Therefore. Therefore means what? I'm ready to conclude my argument. You can guess what the argument is. The guess. Therefore, Paravidya and Aparavidya is different, very different. Aparavidya requires you to perform karma. Paravidya, no karma is involved at all. Only jnanam is involved. Therefore, but then you did not explain one thing. Paravidya, I understand Paravidya does not require karma to be followed. It does not require karma to follow after the jnanam. But why is that moksha? Well, that is moksha. Because it is like the Dashamaha example, where this guy got what he wanted. And he got what he wanted without doing any karma. And you know why? That is not because of anything else. It is because this guy didn't know. Because ignorance was a problem. Not that he had to do something and then with this effort, he can get something done. Like breakfast, we all need the tiffin now. It's 5 o'clock. We've been hungry. We've been walking for a long time. We need to make tiffin. Okay, he can ask everybody, you do this, you do that, and they all take turns. One cuts vegetables and this and that. And so that kind of thing does not exist when it comes to this Dashamaha. Okay, that we understand. Therefore, moksha is in that category. That is why we are studying the whole Upanishad. How do I know moksha is in that category? Yeah, wait. That is what the whole Upanishad is meant for. Okay. And that is because, hey, the object of knowledge, so knowledge of what am I studying? Hey, Aksharam. Aksharam is Brahma. And that Brahma is not something, it's like idli. No, it's not like that. Neither Brahma is heaven. It is me, Atma. And because Atma is there right here, Atma cannot escape at all. Poor Atma is stuck with me. I am that Atma. And therefore, it is Prapta Vishaya only. It is Siddha Vishaya. It is not to be produced like idli is waiting to be produced. No, Atma is already there. Therefore, this Paravidya makes more sense to me now. Okay. And so, Tasmat, what he's saying is, Iha means in this context. Previously, vidhi vishaye, Veda purva vishaye, karma kanda vishaye. Here, in this context, Param vidyam savisheshena aksharena vishinashti. Vishinashti means qualifies, explains, elaborates. Shish dhatu. Vipurvaka shish. Vishinashti. Shinashti, vishinashti. Explains. Okay. Elaborates. Who elaborates? Upanishad elaborates. Okay. He doesn't say who, but understood. Upanishad elaborates. Yattad adreshyam. Because next mantra, if you look, it starts like that. Okay. Yattadadreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshushotram. Like that is coming. So yattad ityadina, yattad adreshyam, etc. And Upanishad is beginning to explain. Why? Because that knowledge is not straightforward. We begin to understand that knowledge is the result. Previously, knowledge of making idli is not the result. Knowledge of making idli is knowledge of making idli. It is theory. It has to be followed by practice. Here, knowledge itself is the result. There is nothing to practice. Okay, that much I understand. So, Vishinashti going to explain why that is the case. He's going to explain by the words Yattad Adreshyam. Param Vidyam Vishinashti. He explains that Paravidya by explaining what that Aksharam is. Okay. Savisheshena Aksharena. By using the same word Aksharam before, that Aksharena is the word Aksharam here. So Aksharam word is not there in this mantra. Savisheshena Aksharena means what? That word Akshara is being described Savisheshena along with some Visheshanas. Along with, we don't want to say attributes because Brahma has no attributes. So we can't say qualifications and all, we can't use that word. Along with its own nature. Nature of Akshara. Nature of Brahma. Along with we have to understand Brahma, We have to use words and we have to find a way to grasp what Brahma is. And so, Sa Visheshena, by some descriptions. There is something to know, there must be a way to describe it. And so, by those descriptions, Sa Visheshena, along with, Sa means Saha, Visheshena Saha, Sa Visheshanam. So, along with those descriptions, Param Vidyam Vishinashti. The Paravidya is elaborated. Until now, only the word Paravidya is Yaya Aksharam Tadadigamyate. But I don't know what Aksharam is. You say Paravidya is Akshara Vidya. It is like saying, where is Anekatti? Anekatti is near Coimbatore. Where is Coimbatore? It's new to me. Coimbatore is near Anekatti. What? Anekatti is near Coimbatore? Coimbatore is near Anekatti? Now tell me, how this is of no use. I just came up with two words, and I don't know Anekatti, I don't know Coimbatore, and this dialogue is absolutely useless. That is what you have done. What is Brahma? Brahma is Aksharam. What is Aksharam? Aksharam is Brahma. What is Paravidya? Akshara Vidya. What is Akshara Vidya? Brahma Vidya. So somebody has to explain what Akshara Vidya is. That is what is going to be done now. That's what he's saying here. And Vakshamanam Buddhau Samhritya Siddhavat Yattadviti. He's saying, Puru Pakshi is asking a question. Hey, Yat, Tat, these are all pronouns. In Sanskrit, Yat, Tat is all pronouns. That, this, you, I, all these are pronouns. A pronoun can be used only after introducing a noun. When you understand the noun properly, then only you can say it, that, she, he, and all that. The word she doesn't have a meaning unless you've talked about Gayatri or talked about Uma. Then only you can say she. And so the implied question here is, hey, yattad and all that he's talking about, yattad means that which, and all. And that, how can you start a sentence with that and that too? Talking about using pronouns when the noun itself is not explained. He says, hey, Vakshamanam Buddho Samhritya. Hey, don't be so impatient. Don't be so picky. Just hang on a little bit. Vakshamanam, that is going to be told. Brahman is going to be told. Buddho samhritya, keeping in mind the things that are going to be told later. The Upanishad is using pronouns, okay? Don't worry, just be patient for a while. Siddhavat. Siddhavat means as though the Brahman is understood for now, with the hope that the student will understand Brahma, understand Aksharam. Siddhavat. Siddhavat means as though accomplished. Okay, as though understood. Only then you can use pronoun, you know. You know, in America, when I went, they do this. They say, this thing, I forgot now how they say it. There is that person. There is that person, they say. And that is an odd thing for me. There is this person who does this. There is a person who does it, and then this and pronouns can be used. Sometimes they use the pronoun before itself. And it was a new thing for me. I learned it. Oh, the pronoun means the noun is going to come later. And they call it this idea. I have this idea. Okay, like that. Like that here also. Siddhavat means what? As though it is known. Brahman is known. Paramrishyate yattad iti. Hey, paramrishyate, referring to, or referred to by the pronoun yattad. That's a very technical thing, and that's all it means there. Yeah. So that's the introduction to this mantra, which is yattad adreshyam, which is going to come later, which is going to look at this nityam, vibhum, sarvagatam, susukshmam, avyayam. So there are some 13, 14 words that describe Brahma. Adreshyam, agrahyam, yattadadreshyam, agrahyam, agotram, avarnam, achakshushrotram, tadapani Nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam tadavyayam yat bhutayonim paripashyanti dhiraha. So I'm trying to recall, because I used to remember this mantra. So for my own sake, I was trying to say it without seeing it. So that's the mantra that is coming up next. Okay. We'll continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādāya Purnamevāvaṣiṣyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.